Welcome back to But I'm Still a Good Person by Vince Nicholas. I'm Vince Nicholas. I'm joined by my sparkling wifey, Carolyn Nicholas.
Hi.
Hello, honey. Thank you for joining me at the dining room table for this episode of the program. So I thought it'd be fun just to do two, listicles. We love listicles. We hate listicles, but we love them at the same time. The first one we're going to start with is 10 excellent words coined in the last 20 years. And then the second listicle will be 6 easy ways to start building better sandwiches. So it has to do with food, and we love food. We're always talking about food. But I thought it'd be fun to start with 10 excellent words coined in the last 20 years. The first excellent word coined in the last 20 years this is in 2001, awesome sauce. Now, what do you think when you hear about this word, honey, when you hear this word?
Well, there's a person that we both follow on social media, and that's like in his handle.
Who is
it?
Oh, yeah, the
Mr.
guy who got
Awesome
COVID.
Sauce. Yeah, the guy that got COVID. So
yeah.
That's literally all I associate with that word.
Yeah.
All I can think about is him now. But if you'd asked me a year or two ago, I don't know what I would have said. Because now all I can think about is that guy.
When people use it on the socials, I don't use it on the socials, but if people use it on the socials, I'm not against it. It's fine.
I think this isn't a word I see or hear very often. Do you?
No, not at all.
No. Back in 2001, you said?
Yes.
Do you remember hearing it back early
it's had
on?
20 years of reign.
Maybe it's kind of fallen out of use.
Yeah.
Or I don't recall it being huge.
I go with the tried and true. I say that's cool.
That's cool.
That's I don't have the date here, but I assume it was coined in the 60s when Ocean Water and the Beach Boys were happening. And that's cool.
Yeah.
I don't say awesome sauce, but if you say awesome sauce, I'm not going to hate you.
Nah, it's fun.
It's cool.
It also makes me think of sauce like a burger sauce. And then I get hungry. And then I'm thinking about like hot wings.
Yeah. Some ranch, some Chick-fil-A sauce. That's awesome sauce. You know, I have used awesome sauce. I don't remember the specific incidents, and I don't want to talk about it, to be honest. But I have used awesome sauce. You know, well, yeah, it makes you think of food.
Yeah, it does.
A really good sauce.
I wonder if that's kind of how it came about, because like someone was eating a chicken sandwich with some sauce on it. Like, this sauce is awesome. It's awesome sauce.
This sauce is that a double entendre? Negative, redundant.
Double negative. Wait.
This sauce
redundant
is awesome sauce. Do people say that?
No.
Okay. Well, awesome sauce. I'm not gonna hate you, but it's cool. I understand. I wouldn't understand a grown man actually saying it out loud or on the socials, typing it out on the socials. But if you do, we can still be buddies.
Okay.
Next one. Also from 2001. Bromance.
Bromance is a good one.
I love this word.
I do too.
Yeah.
You know what? It filled a void. We needed a word to define two guys having a friendship.
Right.
And bromance is perfect.
Right. And for a while there was hashtag no homo.
Oh.
But this is more politically correct, more woke. But yeah, absolutely. I would say every male relationship friendship in my life could be described as a bromance.
Yeah.
I completely have a bromance with all my friends, like Mike Rasmussen and Chuck Johnson and my coworker Powley. I absolutely have a bromance.
You're a very bromantic man.
Wow. I remember, speaking of Chuck Johnson, when we were living in an apartment in Los Angeles, and I moved down to back to San Diego, where we're from, for a job, and I was saying goodbye to him, and I said straight up, like, I love you, man. Like, and he was sitting on his bed, and then we kissed. No, just kidding. But I was like, I love you, man. And as I've gotten older, I have zero problems saying that. I try to say that as much as possible.
Good.
To my guy friends.
I think that should be more common amongst all types of friendships, especially between guys.
Yeah. And as you get older, you see your friends, quote unquote friends, just less because life happens and blah, blah, blah. But I have zero problem saying I love you. Do you remember the movie with Paul Rudd?
You just said the name. I love you, man. I was trying to think of the name.
Oh, that's right.
Yes.
Right. That's where. Okay.
I remember that bromance. They said that word
for
in
some
that movie.
reason,
I think.
I remember the title being bromance, but it was
Right.
I Love You Man with Jason
Segel.
Steven Seagal's brother and
Right.
Paul Rudd. And I have zero information, but I remember enjoying that movie.
Yeah.
It was a good movie.
I do associate bromance with that movie too.
Yeah.
It's funny you thought of that.
Yeah. So I love Chuck Johnson, #NoHomo. And bromance is an excellent word. The next one we have from 2004, honey. Debbie Downer.
Debbie Downer.
Still good.
Do you know where this came from?
SNL, Saturday Night Live.
Oh.
I have the description, but it linked to an SNL clip where they have the odd-looking Rachel Dratch.
Oh, Lord.
And Debbie Downs, and then you hear the
Okay.
trumpet, right?
I don't remember this sketch.
Oh, yeah. It wasn't long after Rachel Dratch debuted the iconic character. By the way, this is from Mental Floss, which is a great website / magazine. In a May 2004 episode of SNL, that Debbie Downer entered the vernacular to mean a person who is habitually pessimistic, negative, gloomy, etc. According to OED, whatever that is, it's probably defined earlier in the website. But I'm not going to scroll up. Gwyneth Paltrow described herself in an August 2004 episode of Oprah as a Debbie Downer over here. Oh, goop. I'm a goop Debbie Downer. This is an excellent word. Although it's sort of misogynistic. It's
is it?
Meant to portray females in a bad light.
Oh.
I say party foul a lot, which is very similar in the same vein. Like if Kem or Meng at my job spill some mail out on the floor, I go, party foul.
I've never heard that phrase.
You never heard party foul?
I don't think so, no.
Well, it's meant to be like if you're under the influence, like we are right now, honey, and if I were to spill this truly hard seltzer onto our dining room table here, I'd be like, party foul.
Oh.
You remember Clueless?
Yeah.
Oh, chalk it up to the party gods.
Yeah.
That's similar vein. Party foul.
Okay.
Debbie Downer.
I don't associate that with a Debbie Downer. I think Debbie Downer, I think of like somebody who's being negative or pessimistic or like a party pooper.
Yeah, absolutely. And for a while I used to be known as Captain No Fun because I would have my nickname was Captain No Fun for a while because I would have the resilience of maybe Mike Rasmussen and Matt Furuzawa, maybe we shouldn't get into a fight at the nightclub. Maybe we should just go home and get some Taco Bell on the way. Okay, maybe we shouldn't engage in shenanigans and hijinks. Maybe we should be smart and go home and eat some crappy fast food and wake up in the morning.
So you're a Debbie Downer.
I am. I'm Captain No Fun / Debbie Downer. Next one, 2008, Dumpster Fire. Excellent.
It's a good one.
Word, phrase. I use SHIT.
Yeah.
I use that constantly because just where just a lot of nonsense and things that don't make sense happening. I say it's an S show, like downtown Sacramento. I like to describe as an S show with the various homeless who don't have any shirts on and homeless tents. And homeless who blocked the traffic, which I encountered a couple times a day. I like S show, but Dumpster Fire, it's a little old school, but it's good.
An S show is kind of more describing like a spectacle, and then Dumpster Fire is kind of more, I think, more like specific. Like you're talking about one specific thing.
Right.
But it's a great phrase.
They can be used back and forth.
You know, all of these so far, at least, it's hard to think that they only existed less than 20 years ago.
Right.
It seems like these have been around forever.
It's a dumpster fire of the English language. But I do like Dumpster Fire. I like S Show. Dumpster Fire is a little old school. Well, 2008 it came into.
S Show's fun.
Yeah. But Dumpster Fire, you think of, a garbage dumpster.
Yes.
Or I think of a tire, like South Africa. I think of, what was the Neil Von Blunt? District 9.
Oh.
I think of District 9 with tires and just a bunch of shanty towns. I think of that's what I think of when I think of a dumpster fire. Who was responsible for the dumpster fire? A gender reveal party or the unhoused, honey? Next phrase from 2002, of all things, food baby.
I like this one too.
Yeah. I get this every week.
I have. I was gonna say every day for me. I have one right now as we speak.
And you see these Instagram Fitspo influencers who ate a bunch of pizza rolls or whatever.
Get the hell out of here.
Yeah, and they're like, I gained 3 pounds, and this is my food baby, and they put their stomach out. They push their.
It's like
instead of sucking it in, you kind of let it roll. Yes.
That's not a food baby. Those are your organs.
Right.
All these hecka fit people.
Right.
Shut up.
Although, you know me, honey. Like, on the weekends, I throw caution to the wayside. I eat everything in sight, and then I go into hunger. I go into pain. I hurt myself, and I do have food babies, and my weight goes up a few pounds.
Yeah.
And once I poop the food baby out, once I deliver the food baby, then I feel much better. And I'm back on track. But
food baby is a fun thing to experience. It's
right.
a fun thing to live with.
Right. Take a picture of and put it on Instagram.
I would never.
But I think we all have food babies. We eat too much. We overindulge.
We're Americans.
We go crazy. We're Americans, and we have a food baby. We deliver the food baby, and then the food baby. Oh well.
Then we get another food baby.
When is the food baby a human, honey? That's the question.
From the moment the food enters your mouth.
Yes. When does the food baby get a heartbeat? Okay, let's move on. Next one from 2005, and we watched The Only Way Is Essex, and that's what I think of when I think of this word.
Oh yeah, they did this.
Yes, from 2005. The next word is glamping.
Glamping.
Which, for those who don't know, it's camping. Combined with glamorous. So glamorous camping, which means you're out there in nature, but you have all the creature comforts. You bring a fancy tent, and you bring all your posh, juicy sweatsuits.
Yeah.
You don't rough it. You ain't roughing it.
There's that where you bring it all yourself. Then there's these places. I don't know how long they've been around, but my brother and his family just recently did this. There are these places you go.
Yes.
And you reserve a tent, but it's like a semi-permanent tent.
Right.
And it's all set up for you, and it has beds and like air conditioning and like a little fridge. Like
you ain't roughing it.
It's like a tent cabin hybrid.
Yeah.
So my brother and his family just recently went to this campsite, and that's what it was. Yeah. So there's a lot of places right now that are doing this, so you don't have to bring your own stuff, because that's even more roughing it. Right. If you have to bring your own stuff and set it up.
Listen, Uncle Brandon, just stay in a hotel and drive 5 minutes to the country or the rural area.
I was jealous.
These people who stay in a yurt, honey, like they're completely.
Yeah, that's what it is.
It's a structure with beds and furniture, and you're not camping.
Is there anywhere that has like an igloo that you can stay in? That's what I want to do.
In Alaska?
Can you take me?
Sure.
I want to do igloo glamping.
Oh dear. And you want to go ice fishing?
Carve out a little circle. Fishing.
Ice skating, ice fishing next to the igloo. I could totally see us going glamping, but in the end, I would just rather stay in a hotel.
Yeah.
It's a bunch of not. You know what? The Only Way Is Essex, the greatest television show of all time. They went glamping.
Yeah.
For the television, okay?
Of course. Do you think they really slept there, or did they go to like a nearby hotel?
Not really. They slept there until they shut down production. They said, "Okay, we're going home," and they said, "Okay, let's go back to the hotel." Next phrase, that excellent word. Although these are phrases, these are words that was coined in the last 20 years. This is 2008. It's called nomophobia, and it's described as combining no with the mo and mobile and phobia.
Oh.
Mobile is cellular phones. Mobile is more European, I think.
Yes.
Combining no with the mo in mobile and phone. Nomophobia is all about the anxiety associated with not having access to your phone. It first appeared in print in the Daily Mail Daily Mail in 2008.
I've never heard this word.
Yeah. I've heard of FOMO, fear of missing
out. Oh, sure, yes.
Yeah.
I have
of
heard
real
of that.
events.
Yeah.
But
nomophobia.
Yeah.
So
I could see that.
This is like when you have to have your phone with you at all times or you freak out.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. I could see that.
Yeah.
Like if I didn't have my phone at work, I would.
I have forgotten my phone at home when I've gone to work, and it's awful.
And did you quit?
I called in sick for the rest of the day.
I'm quitting. It's over. I'm sorry. I gotta go home. Yeah. Like if I didn't have my phone, I couldn't communicate with my darling wifey for 8 to 9 hours.
What are we supposed to do? We can't talk and text for 8 to 9 hours, huh?
It's just that's when you go glamping. That's when you camp out with the homeless. By the way, okay, let's be honest. Because I've been in downtown Sacramento this entire week, moving in and out of
You move in and out of buildings.
I've been going in and out of the mean streets of downtown Sacramento. They all have cell phones.
Oh yeah, yeah.
And what blows my mind is they're all charged. Like how do they keep it charged? At the end of the day of my 8-hour workday, I'm down to 30%. Sometimes I'm down to 10% or less.
That's a good question. Do they have little generators in their tents?
I don't know.
Or like you can go to a coffee shop and
they go to Starbucks, or they have batteries, or.
But you gotta charge the battery packs also.
Yeah. So I don't.
Well,
I don't know.
You need to ask them next time you're down there.
Excuse me. This is a tent, and I'm knocking on a piece of cloth. This is all for a podcast.
Will you be on our pod?
Will you be on our pod? Yeah, but they all have phones. They're all staring at their phones, and it blows my mind. But yeah, I can see nomophobia absolutely being a thing. I've never forgotten, quote unquote, forgotten my phone, or not in the past few years. Mm-hmm. And who would forget their phone?
A loser.
This morning I forgot my mask. Okay. Phone is more important than mask. I need my podcast. Yeah, so nomophobia. Next one, 2008, photo bombing. This is a great one.
It's a good thing.
Yes.
It's a good word.
Yes.
It's just good all around.
Yes. When I think of photobombing, I think of our darling son, Lennox Albert, who in almost every single picture we take of him is like we're all facing the camera, and then he's either facing his. Well, we took a picture in Old Sacramento, and he was completely opposite of where we were facing. We were all facing the camera. And he complained that the sun was in his eyes. Oh, yeah. The sun was in all of our eyes. And we were brave enough. We put it together for 2-3 minutes. But he literally turned around, and in our family picture that I cherish, he was facing the opposite way of what me, you, and darling daughter Luna Marie were facing.
Well, that's just encompasses his personality in a nutshell right there.
Yeah.
But photo bombs are fun. I feel like you see a lot of these celebrities doing them. Mm-hmm. So that always gives you a chuckle.
Yeah.
So-and-so's being silly in the background.
Right. We're trying to take a nice funny picture, and I'm out here doing the duck lips with the peace sign.
Photo bombing is the new rabbit ears.
Oh.
Which my kids still just take so much joy in putting rabbit ears on each other.
Man, rabbit ears is so 80s, man. And rabbit ears are TV antennas also, honey. Next one. In 2002, this is TLDR.
Which stands for?
Which is the acronym for Too Long Didn't Read.
Yes.
I'm all about this.
Me too.
We've talked about... Yes, go ahead.
I just throw this on every article that you ever see in print.
Yeah.
Every article it should just be automatic.
Yeah. Or Instagram posts where you have to click... if you have to click more.
Right.
If it's more than 12 words or whatever, you have to click more. And you click more, and all of a sudden, 8 paragraphs slap you right into the face. and you can't recover.
And you drop your phone. You're overwhelmed.
You throw your phone out the window. Forget about nomophobia. I don't want to look at my phone ever again. But TLDR is... these people are just carrying on and on. And get a blog, okay?
Thank you, whoever came up with this concept.
Yes. Too long, didn't read.
That was a gift to society right there.
Right. And like you see someone on Facebook with 8 paragraphs. I'll read the first one if it's about 3 sentences long, and then after that. But then you see, like, well, in our West Sacramento groups, people will write 8, 9 paragraphs, and then you'll see 53 comments replying. Like, you read all this, and then you composed
no, they didn't
another
read all
8
that.
paragraphs.
No, this is what they did. They read the first paragraph and the last paragraph.
Yeah.
So they're missing a ton of information, but they still just spout out their perspective and opinion on it.
I'll reply TLDR. A similar one, TLDW, Too Long Didn't Watch. Now, Darling Daughter Luna Marie had a video project recently.
Yeah.
Where she had to talk about climate change for 8 minutes. And they were using this website / video editor thing called WeVideo. And so she was having some difficulties kind of how does it work and what do you do and what do you click and blah, blah, blah. So I hopped on YouTube and I put in WeVideo tutorial. There was a 20-minute video. The second one, there was a 16-minute video. And then the third one, there was a 4-minute video.
Oh.
And I was like, the 4-minute video lady, I'm all about you.
Yeah.
Okay. These people who are going into 20-minute WeVideo tutorials, I don't have time for that.
No.
Like the 4-minute lady was perfect. She was like,
what else can there be?
Right.
How can you go on for 16 more minutes?
Right. Or be specific. This is how you do X, Y, and Z in WeVideo. But just for like a quick little help video, 4 minutes, I'm all about that life. And so like Luna Marie had to, I forget, I don't know the exact phrase, but she had to superimpose like a graphic and make it big and then make it small and her face talking. And I was like, oh, she did it in 4 minutes. Whereas I could spend 20 minutes watching this guy writing notes, taking notes.
Who has time for that?
No one. No one.
Certainly not us.
You know who has time for it? Martin Scorsese, who's using WeVideo now. Maybe. I don't know. Next one. The 10th excellent word coined in the last 20 years. In 2003, unfriend. Unfriend.
I like it. I'm surprised this is 2003 because I thought this came from Facebook.
Really?
Did it not?
I would think it came from MySpace, but I honestly don't know.
Okay.
And well, let's. Do you want to get real?
I do.
Okay. Well, let me read what mentalfloss.com has. Unfriend 2003. Okay, yes. Technically, the first use of the word unfriend dates back to Thomas Fuller's 1659 book, The Appeal of Injured Innocence. And then they have a quote. Okay, Mental Floss. Next sentence. It wouldn't be used again until 2003 after a member of Usenet, which were like old school message boards. Like we're talking old school.
Usenet.
When I was a young man. Group used it to mean to remove a person from a list of friends or contacts on the social networking website. According to OED, whatever that is. Defriend, meanwhile, came in 2004. But unfriend.
So it's a internet thing with
absolutely
messaging boards and social media.
Yeah.
Okay.
I associate it with MySpace. How you unfriend people.
I barely used MySpace. So I don't know why.
Me too, but I'm older than you, so I was more prominent back in the day. But have you ever unfriended, or have you ever been unfriended that you know of, honey?
Of course.
Really?
Well, I've definitely unfriended people. Well, you know what I tend to do more is just like I stay friends, but I hide the person, so I never see anything they ever post.
That's
I do that a lot.
They have the option where you can unfollow but stay friends.
Oh, you know what? I have unfriended a whole group of people.
Oh dear. Do you want to reveal all, honey?
No. Sorry, everybody.
I think of my recent controversy with the Baez family.
Oh dear.
They thought I was making weight comments at their size, and I was just joking about.
Do you think anyone unfriended you?
No, I don't think so, because I still see their posts, but I think we're on the verge of unfriending.
Oh, no, honey, no.
I know. Well, I would never unfriend them, but if they want to unfriend me, and maybe they did the little upside down triangle, drop down, unfollow, but stay friends.
Yeah.
Which makes me sad, but
no.
We all grow old and we all get sad.
We're all one offensive post away from being unfriended.
Right. Well, I can't think of actively unfriending, but I can see people unfriend me because I've been very vocal about the masks and this whole COVID.
I can see a lot of people like hiding you.
Yeah.
Maybe unfriending. I have no idea.
Yeah. Well, I'm going to cry now. Okay. Let's move on to 6 easy ways to start building better sandwiches.
What's wrong with my sandwiches? Is this like a shady way of you trying to tell me I need to make better sandwiches?
Well, yes, it is actually. But why did you bring that up, honey? This is supposed to be very subtle and very low-key.
I'm on to you.
Okay, so 6 easy ways. We don't love sandwiches, but we make them often because they're quick and easy.
They're quick and easy. I've noticed you have been making a lot more sandwiches for yourself in recent months. But is this because of our discovery of the low-calorie bread?
Yes.
Yeah.
Which will come into play in this list.
Right.
But my go-to is our low-calorie bread, which is
45 a slice?
I think it's 40.
Okay, 40 a slice.
40 calories per slice.
Yeah.
Which is 80 calories. 40 times 2 is...
80.
73. 80. The ham, you can go 4 slices or 5 slices. It's 12 calories per slice. So if you're going 4 calories or 4 slices, it's 48 calories, which is, let's just round it up to 50. And sometimes I go crazy and I get 5 slices, which is 60 calories. So you talk about 80 calories and then going crazy plus 60 calories, 140, and then I throw on some mustard.
Yeah.
And the plain mustard is nothing, but the spicy brown, the Dijon, is like 5 calories per whatever. So. And then sometimes I have no idea, but I slather on there 2, 3, 4 servings, which can result in 20-ish
maybe
calories.
20, okay.
Yeah. So what's that math? 60 plus 80 140 plus
5 to 20. So
is 160.
So that is a good low-calorie sandwich.
Yeah, absolutely. And I feel like when I put work, quote-unquote work, there's toasting, and you got to get the lunch meat, and you got to slap.
You're working up a sweat over there.
The mustard onto. I feel I appreciate it more than just here's a bag of Cheetos. I'm just gonna throw them in my mouth.
It's way more satisfying.
Right.
There's so much more going on.
Right. I've been feeling that recently a lot. Okay, so 6 ways to start building better sandwiches. Number 1, when in doubt, toast it.
Do you usually toast your bread?
Absolutely. Well, I'm right in the kitchen, and our living room is 10 feet away, honey. You see what's going on.
I smell the toasted bread. It smells so good. You know what? The last time I had a sandwich, it was toasted, and it was like cutting my lips. Like my mouth was getting hurt.
Well, I've made sandwiches for you, darling.
Yeah.
And you so our toaster it starts at 1, the toast, or does it start at 0?
I don't know.
I don't know. 1. It starts at 0 or 1, and it goes all the way to 6 or 7.
I think 8.
8. I go to 7 on my, because I like as much. I'm all about the crunch life.
You're wild.
You're wild. I'm wild. Oh, it's Jennifer Grey and Dirty Dancing. I'm like Patrick Swayze out here. Let's have boom boom. But I put it all the way almost to the top of the toast. I don't always wait because I'm kind of impatient.
It takes forever.
Yeah, but I do like the mad crunch. But you, honey, I've made sandwiches for you.
Yeah.
And you're like, put it on the lightest toasting.
Like, no.
You want it on the 1.
I don't want 1. No, I want 2 or 3.
Okay.
I don't want 1. Come on.
Okay.
So maybe you did it a little too toasty for me. Do you ever just crave like a meat sandwich? Like, I like turkey, but you like ham. Just ham with like a soft, squishy bread, not toasted at all.
Yeah.
I was craving that the other day.
Yeah, but that would have to be like a loaf of French bread or something. Oh. That would be the tops.
Not our little low-calorie crappy.
Yeah, not our crappy 40 calorie per slice. But like, oh my gosh, I used to. So when I worked at Pacific Bell in San Ramon. 20-year old reference. I don't know why that came up. But Chris Lum and I, my coworker, we would go to whatever the supermarket was. I want to say Lucky's or Albertsons or Safeway. And they would make fresh French bread.
Oh.
And I would buy like a loaf. Like I wouldn't even buy like meat or potatoes or mayonnaise. It would just be a fresh French loaf of bread for like $1, and I would just eat that.
Oh my gosh. Yeah. Grocery stores, do they still do this? They have like a rack in the front of the store, and it's like bread baked at 5, and it's just like foil wrapped tons and tons of loaves. But we always shop at Target and Walmart, and so they don't do that. It's more of like the Albertsons, the Rayleighs, the Lucky's. I've been thinking about that bread actually lately because this was a staple of my childhood. Yeah. We always had that bread in my home. And you just rip off a hunk of it, or maybe you can put butter on. It's so good. Yeah. We got to find that. I really want that.
Just plain, nothing going on. And you just rip off a chunk and chew it. Like the outside's kind of crunchy and the inside is super soft. And if you're lucky, it's warm. And it comes in the brown bag. Like you feel like you're French going to the market for a... what do they call it? Boulangerie. A loaf of bread in Paris. And we Paris get Paris.
You feel like you're living in splendor. You're on vacation. Right. This is the lap of luxury. We got to find some place that sells that bread.
I know. Well, there's a Rayleigh's on West Capitol that we still haven't been to.
Let's go just for this.
Even though we lived over here. When does your French bread come out? And they'll be like, what the hell? What do you... We deal with homeless all day.
I hope the bakeries in the grocery stores still do this. Because it's such a great experience for everybody. Everyone should experience this.
So, toasted.
What were we talking about?
I'm all about super toasting. You're lightly toasting.
Apparently, I have delicate, tender lips.
You do. Well, you do. You don't like hard. Like I'm all about protein bars and granola bars.
Oh, well, that's a teeth.
You don't like that stuff.
I have sensitive teeth.
Yes.
But yeah, the sandwich you made me that was toasted, it like, every time I took a bite, like, the corners of my mouth were aching. Yeah. Screaming.
I'm sorry, darling.
I still ate the whole thing.
Okay. Number 2. 6 easy ways to start building better sandwiches. And this post via delish.com.
Delish.
Is sponsored by French's. So this is native advertising here. This is what's wrong with mainstream media. But number 2 is lean into the mustard. Okay. Now, it depends on my mood. Sometimes I like I always want mayonnaise. And this is apart from the on-track sandwich that we described. Bread, meat,
yeah, that's like your really basic on-track sandwich.
If I'm out here living my best life, YOLO, FOMO, fam, if I'm truly craving, if I'm truly going putting together what I desire, I like lots of mayonnaise, and then mustard. It depends. Sometimes I want a little, sometimes I want more. But mustard is a key component. And then as we talked about on track, the 140, 160 calorie, whatever we talked about earlier, mustard is a key component, no mayonnaise. But mustard is very important.
I never want mayonnaise. The only time I like mayonnaise is when it's mixed in something like a egg salad. Yeah. When it's like a mix, when it's like a ingredient in something. I never want just plain mayonnaise like on a sandwich or on what.
I don't like egg salad. I don't like potato salad.
I love everything that you just mentioned.
When mayonnaise is combined with mustard, and again, it's about 80% mayonnaise, 20% mustard. I'm just
opposite
workshopping this in my head. It's very, very good. I would say mayonnaise with ketchup is also, and you got to get the proportions right.
Yes,
but it can be a fantastic sauce.
Mayonnaise is fantastic, but not on its own. If I can ever taste it on its own, such as you might do if you take a bite of a sandwich, where that is your spread, I hate it. So, but like, if you mix it with ketchup and you make some sort of like dip for like a fry or a burger, that's awesome.
Yeah.
But I never, ever, ever want to just taste a plain bite of mayonnaise.
Oh, man.
Get out of here.
We as a family, we get the upside down bottle that you can squeeze.
Yeah.
So like these people who open the top of the jar and then put some butter,
no
knife.
Squeezing whatsoever. You got to get a knife.
But then there's like remnants of of toast, and there's some mustard in there, and there might be a piece of onion in there.
Totally.
Like I lived that way, but I was in 8th grade, and that was in the 80s. Okay, now you turn it upside down and you squeeze it. These squeeze bottles. Am I right, honey?
What an invention!
Yes. So mustard with some with a lot of mayonnaise. I'm all about that. You like mustard.
I
you
love
like
mustard.
The plain mustard.
I love yellow mustard. I also like the kind of the grainy, spicy
brown
mustard.
or Dijon. Yeah.
But when it comes to sandwiches, if not mustard, I'll take like any other kind of spread, like pesto or aioli or like anything.
Well, now you're getting fancy.
As long as it's not mayonnaise, okay?
Oh, marinade sandwich. Okay. Next one on 6 easy ways to start building better sandwiches.
6 ways.
Yeah. Is add some crunch, and they have the examples here of lettuce or bacon, which is can be crunchy.
Give me a BLT.
Peppers or potato chips. Yes.
I just thought of one exception to my mayonnaise on a sandwich.
Oh,
a BLT. A BLT. Oh, I just have to throw that in. I love me a BLT.
Yeah.
And of course, you're going to put mayo on that.
Yeah.
But okay.
Yeah.
I stand corrected.
The what is it? The sandwich spot.
Yes.
And Mr. Pickles does. Everyone does. Everyone who puts together a sandwich does a version of this. But when they do some bread, at Mr. Pickles, it's called the BLAT. Bacon, lettuce, avocado, tomato.
Yeah.
Bread, bacon, lettuce, avocado, tomato, and some mayonnaise.
Yes. Although, if you have avocado, you don't need mayo because it's like.
What are you talking? What is this nonsense you speak of? You are. Oh, how dare you?
It's redundant.
It is redundant, but it's also different. And I have them throw on red onion or onions.
Yeah.
Because I like the crispy onions. Best sandwich ever. So what do we talk about? Oh,
crunch.
Add some crunch. Yes. So lettuce, bacon, peppers.
You know what?
Potato chips.
Toasting the bread gives it the crunch.
Yeah.
But if you desire additional crunch,
yes.
My preferred go-to is lettuce.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not big on adding like raw veggies to sandwiches.
Mm-hmm.
And I don't know why, but I've never been a person who puts like potato chips on their sandwich.
Yeah.
I know it's good. I recognize that. I've had it.
Yeah.
But I never do it on a regular basis.
I throw on, again, the BLAT. I asked them to throw on onions on there.
Yes.
Red onions, preferably. But doesn't darling son, Lennox Albert, he goes to when you guys used to go to Labu, which was near Rosemont, California, which is where we used to live. But he would please,
so,
honey.
Lennox and I, whenever he and I would have like a mommy Sunday.
Yeah.
In Rosemont or Fair Oaks, like when my parents used to live out there.
Yeah.
We would go to Labu, that was our spot, and he would get it's been a while since we've been. So I don't know if he would just order everything. Well, he'd get a bag of potato chips.
Yes.
And then he would just get 2 pieces of bread and some lettuce.
Yes.
So he would make his own lettuce and potato chip sandwich on white bread. And that's it. And so, he loves it.
Bread, lettuce, and potato chips.
And that's it.
Well, I don't understand how anyone could enjoy that. So you wouldn't have the Labu employees put it together. You would have them put together the bread and the lettuce.
Well, they wouldn't put it together because it's just lettuce and bread, and then they sell bags.
But what are they doing there?
They sell bagged chips.
Yes.
So he'd just buy a bag of Lay's potato chips.
So you would have the separate ingredients.
Well, it's just 2 pieces of bread and like a pile of lettuce.
Uh-huh.
There's no assembly required, really.
Right,
well, there's very little.
What's the employee doing?
They're making my fancy sandwich and salad.
So they would give you some bread. They would give you some lettuce.
Yeah.
And you would buy a bag of potato chips, and then you would become the Labu employee.
Lennox would.
Yes. and he would put together the bread, the potato chips, and the lettuce for fine dining, if you will.
I gotta take him back again, and we gotta go through this whole process because it's been a while.
I would love to see that. I would just crinkle my eyebrow and marvel.
And by the way, that sandwich right there is the reason he loves Labu so much. So I don't, but really, you can like make that anywhere,
right, honey? We could buy a head of iceberg lettuce for 45 cents.
He'll say Labu's his favorite restaurant, and that right there is the only reason why.
Oh dear. Well, the boy, darling son Lennox Albert, you will chop up a head of iceberg lettuce, throw it in front of him, and he will feast on it for 45 minutes.
Plain iceberg lettuce is his favorite food.
That boggles my mind. I don't get that. Do you?
And if like a head of iceberg lettuce isn't available, if you have like a bagged lettuce, he'll take that.
Yeah.
No dressing, nothing on it, just the salad pieces.
Well, he wants
the lettuce pieces.
He wants the crunchy.
He wants the crunchiest
and
least bitter, most crunchy pieces that you have.
And I've seen you. We're married, honey, and I'm stepdad to darling son Lennox Albert. I've seen you pick the less crunchy, the darker green,
the more limp.
Yes, the more limp pieces of lettuce.
The pieces that might have any nutrients whatsoever.
Right. Here's some iceberg lettuce that has 0 calories and 0 nutritional value.
Like the most white, light green piece.
Yes. Yes. I've seen it, and it's something to witness.
Wow.
Okay. The next one is cook your own meat. Well,
Whatever. Who's cooking their own meat?
Well, so I like the honey ham, and you like the smoked turkey.
Any turkey.
Any
kind of turkey,
yeah.
But we like the packaged, in the fridge section at the store, the packaged lunch meats.
Yeah. And we get, for whoever cares, no one cares, we get Frosted Land Frost. What's the brand name?
I don't know.
I went to their website and I read the whole...
And you described this.
I know. Lando Frost.
Lando Frost.
That's
it.
And how... Because I was intrigued by the name Lando Frost. Like, what the hell's going on there? But it turns out the guy's dad used to sell... had like a market, like a meat market early morning, and you would go there and they would have the dry ice. So they would have all the fog going on and everything. And so you would go there as a delicatessen person and you would see the dry ice and you'd be like, oh, this ham looks good. But that's how the name came about. Lando Frost. It's fascinating.
We're not cooking our own meat, in conclusion.
No, we're not. Next one, 6 ways to start building better sandwiches. Pick better bread. No. We prefer our low-calorie crap. Low-calorie bread. Now, some bagels, because once in a while I buy bagels.
Yeah.
There's like over 200 calories per bagel.
Okay, completely off track. If we're going to be like in our wildest dreams out here, I do prefer like a really good quality sourdough if I'm having my like dream sandwich.
Oh yeah. Love sourdough.
But like on a regular basis in our home, in our day-to-day lives, we're not living large like that.
Right.
We're sticking to our low-calorie stuff.
Right.
We're trying to be fit for some reason.
Yeah. Right. As Lennox always questions, why are you on track? Why do you care about your weight?
Why does looking good matter?
Why are you in the garage at 6 a.m. Lifting weights? Because society, man. Because the media.
These impossibly high beauty standards.
That's why I shave my chest every 3 weeks, Lennox Albert, and someday.
That's why mommy's shaving my back on the living room floor.
Yes, with the wall clippers. You'll understand someday.
He'll get it someday.
He, like Lennox Albert, I marvel at his arm hair, and you've seen this.
It's golden and it's beautiful.
It's beautiful, and when the sun hits it just right, it's something, because he's still young, so it's not dark, and he doesn't look like a werewolf like me. Okay, after 6 weeks of non-grooming.
Maybe he's a Scandinavian werewolf.
Right. Well, hopefully he stays Scandinavian, and he doesn't have to endure this horror of a life that I have to go through.
His chances are not good.
Oh.
But it's gonna go dark but let's enjoy it while we can.
Yes, let's do it. So bread, we go with the super low calorie, 40 calorie per slice, so it's 80.
Yeah.
And like I said, we've sometimes I've bought bagels, which is over 200 calories. I think the average is 80-ish calories per slice. And if
of
you
a
wanna,
bagel? Like
no, just bread.
Oh, bread. Okay.
Yeah, just regular bread. But we've looked at like English muffins. They're like 120-ish
for
calories.
one whole English muffin. It's about 120 to 140.
Yeah, so that's not bad.
That's not bad. Yeah.
But if you're cutting, every single calorie matters.
Yeah, and an English muffin is not ideal for a sandwich because it's so small.
Right.
You need more space.
Right.
More surface space.
Well,
for
you
your
know
ingredients.
what I've discovered is that with bagels, because there's a little hole in the middle. I don't know if you noticed, honey. But so putting like mayonnaise and mustard, it leaks through there.
Well,
And
you're supposed to just put it on the circular. You're not supposed to like goop it across the hole.
Oh, really?
I assume so. I mean, that makes sense.
But there's a hole there regardless, and mayonnaise can escape through
you know
that
what,
hole.
though?
Yes.
Despite that messy mess that you're describing, a bagel sandwich is so top tier.
Yeah.
It was so delicious.
Yeah.
There used to be a bagel place in East Sacramento called Bagel Boys, I think.
Yes.
So good. Like Folsom Boulevard and 65th Street.
Yeah.
Oh, man, they had good bagel sandwiches. And then they closed, sadly.
There's a lack of bagel places in Sacramento in general.
Yeah.
There's an Einstein somewhere in Midtownish, downtownish.
What's that chain?
Einstein?
Anyway, no. It doesn't matter.
Noah's. There's a Noah. That's what I meant. There's a Noah's in Midtownish,
yep,
downtownish.
there's a couple. There's one on Broadway. There's one like on 19th. But I feel like they don't have a ton of bagel sandwiches. I feel like like you can get a bagel with different spreads on top, and they have tons of different flavors of bagels, which is delicious.
Right.
I don't know, but New York Bagel Boys, that was the name of this place. And they had just tons of different like savory meat sandwiches.
Yeah.
It was so yummy. And they would bake the bagels there in the back of the shop.
Yeah.
So it was really like it was really yummy.
Yeah.
And fresh.
I watched recently a bagel baking. It involves a lot of water, and it's very odd to see bread floating around in water.
They have those giant like tubs, like as tall as an adult, and huge.
Yeah.
Yep.
It's disconcerting.
Who would have thought that's how you're making a bagel? Right.
And a bagel is so wonderful and lovely, but in its early incarnations, it's bread floating in water, and you're like, what the hell's going on here? But yeah, well, Sacramento needs a bagel place.
They do,
or more bagel
but
places.
I don't know. I'm not sure what happened with these little non-chain places that ended up closing. Yeah. I'm not sure, but anyway.
Get to it, Patrick Harbinson or whoever that is.
Yeah.
Next one on 6 ways to start building better Sammy's sandwiches. Don't shy away from the veggies. Now, if I'm trying to be as quick as possible and on track, although vegetables have 0 or very little calories, I usually don't go with vegetables, but they have here red onions, which I'm a huge fan of, just in anything.
Yeah.
But yeah, generally speaking, you want tomatoes and lettuce and onions and pickles on it.
You know what you could do if you're ever here at home? You can always check our veggie drawer because
I'm here at home often. Honey. Yes.
Right now, as we speak, I have a baggie in our veggie drawer of thinly sliced red onions.
Really?
So there you go.
Wow.
And then occasionally we have lettuce in there, like a bag of iceberg or whatever.
Well, why didn't you notify me?
You should know these things, I think.
I know. I don't. Well, I open the right refrigerator drawer because that's where my ham is, my Lando Frost honey ham. But I don't go into the left.
You ignore the left drawer, which is the veggies.
I know.
You're missing out.
I know. I'm sorry.
Because I can understand, like, who wants to take the time to chop up an onion, to slice up a tomato, but sometimes I do have that stuff ready to go.
Yeah, and I do love that stuff. But if I'm trying to be as quick as possible,
sure,
I ignore the veggies.
I always forgo the veggies unless I'm like really putting. Maybe I'm having a particular craving, or I feel like being fancy and elaborate. Mm-hmm. Give me some lettuce, tomatoes. I could skip the red onions, but I gotta have lettuce and tomatoes if I'm doing veggies myself.
Absolutely. And then the last thing, is this the last thing? Yes. Is how to build a better sandwich. Go all in on pickled things. And they have pickles, obviously. And they have jalapenos here and pickled onions. Okay.
I could skip all that. I do like pickles, but...
Well, let's focus on pickles, honey.
Okay.
Let's talk about pickles for 19 minutes straight. No. Now, pickles, generally speaking, I'm not a fan of. I find them just distracting. Like low quality pickles, you throw them on a hamburger, you throw them on a sandwich, all of a sudden you're like, what is this taste? This vinegary taste is just distracting and detracting from everything else going on in the sandwich / burger. So I'm not a fan of low brand pickles in general. Would you agree with that?
No.
What?
I appreciate a pickle on any kind of sandwich or burger, and I don't care the quality.
Oh my goodness.
I like it no matter what.
I remember Grandpa Curtis Copperman, my stepdad, my mom would buy him like the huge jars of dill pickles.
Yeah.
That were, well, let's be honest, 90% vinegar or brine or whatever. And I remember him reaching his arm in there, his hairy white arm, okay? Well, we're going back to hairiness, and he would just grab whatever 8 pickles.
You got to get yourself a fork and stab it.
Oh my gosh! And the thing, so there would be this giant jar of brine, and then the less pickles in there, and it would just be brine.
Would he slice them and put them on
they would
stuff?
already be sliced,
or would he just eat them raw? Like, what did he do with these pickles?
He would throw them on sandwiches.
Okay.
Yeah.
Would he drink the pickle juice?
No. No. This isn't Rob, Arnie, and Don, honey.
Some people do that.
Where they sell pickle juice.
I know a lot of people who they eat the pickles out of the jar and then they drink the juice.
But for health reasons?
No, because they think it's yummy.
Right. Rob, Arnie, and Don sell pickle juice.
I didn't know they sold pickle juice.
Oh my!
Just a jar of pickle juice?
I was listening the kind of snake oil they're selling on their website, like calm supplements and energy supplement. Anyways,
that's for another pod.
That's for the Patreon, honey. That's for the OnlyFans. I will say that an excellent pickle, which is few and far between, you don't see it often. I like to cite Sunflower Drive-In in Fair Oaks, California. Fantastic pickle. Adds to the hamburger, nut burger, to the dish.
It is delicious.
It is out of sight. But majority of pickles I can't get behind, and if I know ahead of time, I will always order things no pickles.
Let me throw you the opposite end of the spectrum and ask you how you feel about it. A McDonald's cheeseburger. I freaking love it.
I know.
I love those pickles. I love everything on that hamburger.
Listen, I worked at McDonald's when I was 16, and I layered those 2 pickles onto.
It's almost 2, huh?
Yeah, and they are subpar, crappy pickles. But when it comes to the McDonald's hamburger / cheeseburger that has very little going on.
Yeah.
A flat patty, a flat beef
that
patty.
Little diced onion.
They're dehydrated.
Oh,
do you want to know how they make those?
Yeah.
They come in like a bag, and it's all dry, and then you throw it into a tub, and you throw a bunch
tub of what? Okay.
Well, like a metal container.
Okay.
And then you throw some water in there, and it's all measured. Like you put in 6 cups of water. I don't remember. And then we would put it in the refrigerator. And after a day, they would be, quote unquote, dehydrated onions. So they would be like these compote onions on some level. And then you throw water and they would essentially come back to life. And that was the onions.
They're zombie onions.
Wow. They're zombie onions.
You're making me want a McDonald's hamburger.
That took me back.
Being honest.
But, there's so little going on a McDonald's hamburger or cheeseburger that even though the pickles suck, they are important.
They are. Those dehydrated onions and those pickles add a bit of crunch because you're not getting any crunch anywhere else in that burger. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Yeah.
I love it.
Yeah. And they have jalapenos here as an example.
I like...
I can get behind diced up jalapenos to throw out some slice, but I don't want to be biting into a jalapeno.
I like my
jalapeno.
jalapenos on one extreme or the other. Give me little small dices mixed into something, or give me just an entire jalapeno that I'll just eat. I don't like this like mid-range, large chunks.
Right. Don't half-ass your jalapeno. That's what you're saying. All right. Well, that was fun. So we did 20 excellent words. Actually, I cut them down to 10, coined in the last 20 years, and 6 easy ways to start building better Sammys. Sponsored by French's Mustard. Thus the mustard post. But we are not in the bag with French's Mustard.
We're open to it.
Although
call us up, French's.
Absolutely will be. Use our French's Mustard promo code.
Love you guys.
Yeah, absolutely. You go to Dollar Tree and they don't have French's. No. They have mustard.
Brand.
It's all very similar.
Don't they have Heinz though when it comes to the ketchup and other stuff? Yeah. What's up with that?
It's even when it's not Heinz, it's very similar to Heinz. So I think mustard and ketchup are just kind of there's not much happening there.
The big condiment scam.
Yes, big condiment. Alrighty, that's the end of the program. It's been fun, but not really. Let's all try a little harder next time. Like, comment, subscribe, follow, or don't. Do whatever you want. You're a grown-up. Make your own decisions. Do what's best for your family. Please be sure to use our promo code for Huffed Heating and Air. We don't have a promo code for Huffed Heating and Air. That's HUFT, honey. Goodbye. I love you. We love you. We hope you have a good day today and tomorrow. And sure, I may have called out my wife for too lightly toasting her sandwich bread, but I'm still a good person, and we're still good people. Thank you for listening. Thank you for your time. I hope you have a wonderful day/night. Bye-bye.